Hey everybody, third time's a charm. I keep failing at making this video, and so now we are using a different program. I don't know why I was trying to use a photo booth instead of QuickTime, but it's okay. It's okay. Let's talk about The Flash. Number one, the CGI. Oh my god. Oh my. The top of the movie, not so great. The Batfleck action scenes on the motorcycle, the baby shower stuff, no. All the Barry stuff looked good. The Flash stuff, so good in that opening sequence, but everything else, no. Let's see, I think all the Supergirl stuff got cleaned up. I remember when the first trailer was released and you could see it was clearly not finished, all the Kara stuff. And I'm not one who is very critical of CGI. I don't always catch that kind of stuff. So if it's something that I clocked, it's pretty bad. But it is what it is. And then like the Chronoball scenes, the whole like stadium of the past, I was like, what is this? But then it has come out that Andy Muschietti said, no, that was on purpose. And I'm like, okay, then it is not my business. I am willing to suspend my disbelief and move on. And that is what I did. I did think the whole concept was pretty cool though. I was wondering how they were going to differentiate their like time travel and being inside of the Speed Force from what we just spent like 9 years developing on the CW. And I do think they did a pretty good job of making me feel like it was different. And let me say, I've been with The Flash, through the good and the bad. I've been there. There may have been episodes that I could not tell you what happened after I finished watching it, but I was there. Let's talk about Wonder Woman. I was told that she was in a commercial, but I now only watch the first trailer of movies that I really want to see, specifically like these genre movies, all the superhero-y stuff, because I don't want any spoilers, and they get so spoilery like in that second and third. They're like, go see our movie, look at all the cool stuff. Oh, but there's nothing else cool for you to see once you get there because you've seen it all in a commercial. So I don't want to experience that. I want to be able to sit in the theater and see things. So like I was told that Wonder Woman was in all of the Shazam Fury of the Gods stuff. I didn't see any of that. So when she came in, spoilers for anybody who has not seen Shazam Fury of the Gods, I was like, oh my God, it's Diana, it's really her. I love Wonder Woman. She's one of my favorite characters. Look, I got, this is a gift. There, oh, devil, here we go. And I have like been given Wonder Woman things from coworkers. So I have like a Wonder Woman mug and a water thing and a stemless wine glass. We're on brand. Anyways, that was a really good scene. It looked good. You hear that theme come in, you see that lasso on the screen, you're like, oh, okay. She was just there for a hot minute, but it made me happy. And it gave us a couple of comedic moments. Bruce admitting that if he just used his money for philanthropy, that the city would probably be better off. And Barry lets us know that he's a virgin. And that's that on that. Michael Keaton. Y'all. Batman Returns is probably one of my favorites. I admit that I've not watched 89 in a very long time. I could probably do for a rewatch, but I love Batman Returns. I've seen it so many times. So when it was announced that he was coming into this movie, I got so excited. And of course, we know of all the oh my God, all the drama that has gone on with the WB, and it has just been, and DC Comics in general, like, or that whole side of it has been wild. But we're here, we got him, at least for this movie. And now we'll always have this movie and Batman Returns and 89 when I decide to rewatch it, to have those Michael Keaton moments. And let me tell you, he had some good stuff. I mean, I know, there were CGI and stunt doubles involved, but this Michael Keaton Batman in both Bruce mode and Bat mode was kicking ass. And I mean, spoilers again. This is a spoiler review, so I'm not gonna say spoilers anymore. I should have said it earlier, but I'm not saying it anymore. He went down fighting. He was going up against a Kryptonian. So good. I loved Michael Keaton in this movie. He had those two little moments, and I'm convinced, no one can tell me otherwise, that he did not ad-lib those. When he comes out and young Barry's like, oh my God, and he goes, yeah, I'm Batman. And I was like, did he just throw in that yeah? Like, yeah, that's me. And then the other one, right before he dives off that thing, when he like swoops down and is getting shot at, he goes, this is gonna hurt. And he just gets in there. And I was like, oh, this is what he is meant for. Even when you see him like patching himself up the next day, he looked in the mirror like, this is my purpose. I am living for this. It was so good. Michael, we love you, Michael Keaton. We love you. Moving on to Sasha Calle, our Supergirl. I really love what she gave us. You know, she wasn't in the movie very long. She didn't have a whole lot to work with, but I was there for everything except seeing her and Batman get unalived over and over and over again. It was very upsetting. It really was. It was very upsetting. And question, and please people give me some comments, tell me things. I don't really read the comics. I watch the cartoons and the TV shows and maybe read some like DC wiki pages or whatever to kind of grow on that knowledge. But let me know, did the Kryptonians have a metal that could cut a Kryptonian that's been infused with yellow sunlight? Like, was it just that she didn't have enough to be like impenetrable to that thing that he used to get the codex out of her, or whatever that whole situation was? I must admit, I have not watched Man of Steel in a very long time. And I remember watching it in a theater. I was very excited because I was like, ooh, a Superman movie. And I was in London and my students got me a ticket to see it with them at the IMAX. And so I'm sitting up there and I'm watching this movie. And then I was just like, oh, this is so boring, until it wasn't. Like, the movie was boring until it wasn't. I should rewatch it. I know I've rewatched it probably at the top of COVID, but I don't remember it. I don't remember any of it. So maybe I'll give it a rewatch. Who knows? One day I'll do like a little DCEU-a-thon or whatever. Who knows? Sasha did a great job. And as much as I hate to admit it, Ezra did a great job. I cannot imagine how hard it is to act against yourself and still be two differently distinct people, because these Barrys were different. Not just because this young Barry was kind of like an ass because his parents spoiled him, versus like just the normal, like kind of anxious, annoying Barry that we're used to from the previous movies. But I doubt they're coming back, and I'm okay with that. Like, I don't think there's gonna be another Ezra Miller as the Flash Barry Allen movie. I don't think that's gonna happen. If there is another movie, I don't think Barry's gonna be in it, because the movie didn't perform, I think, the way they were hoping it would, and they overhyped this movie. I don't know if I said that on this one or not. I said I've recorded this 2 other times and it failed. But if I didn't say it here, I'll say it. And if I've already said it, I apologize. But they overhyped this movie. They hyped it to the point where I think people's expectations started to get higher. I think at this point, we know we can't really go into our DC movies with like that, because we're gonna get our feelings hurt. But at the end of the day, yada yada yada, this movie had some great emotional beats. Every time Barry was on the screen with his mom, whether it was putting the tomatoes in the cart, seeing her in the house when he goes into the house, or like when he had to take the tomatoes out, I was bawling. Mind you, Grant just did this. He just did it, and it was so good. I also cried, but I'm gonna like split my mind so that the Arrowverse is over here, and I'll allow this movie to exist over here, and will try not to compare the two, because unfortunately, they didn't do that. They couldn't even give us other berries when they were showing the breaking down of walls. There was this like fake Jay Garrick that looked like it was a generic like Golden Age Flash like computer generated thing that looked just like Teddy Sears, who played Hunter Zolomon, who disguised himself as Jay Garrick in like I think the second season of the Flash series. It wasn't him. It was just wild. You see these bits and pieces of other super universes, like, or just other universes in general, because you have like your, oh my God, what is that man's name? Christopher Reeve and Helen Slater, super cousins over here. Then you may have like Adam West Batman over here, and George Reeves Superman over here. And then over in that black and white George Reeves world was that black and white Teddy Sears lookalike Jay Garrick. Okay, Golden Age, that makes sense, but like there were no other Flashes to be seen in these other worlds, but whatever. That I am very famously not a fan of Nicolas Cage, but I can admit that there are roles like Renfield and the dad in Kick-Ass that are perfect for him. And now I'm slightly sad that I will never get to experience him fully as Superman, because what we got in this movie was fun. Robotic Spider, why the hell not? So good, so good. So what was the point of this movie, right? Like I said, is it like just because you can do it, you have the power to do this thing, you probably shouldn't always do it? I don't know. But even still, if that's the case, he still changed the past because he moved those cans. What if somebody has to restock those at the end of their shift and that messes up their whole timeline for something great? You've just affected something else that you don't even know has happened. But his world is now gone. It's changed. He effectively turned Ben Affleck into George Clooney. But here's my question. Do you think that he is now in another world? I don't think he made it back to his home world. He's in another world that he thinks is his own. And that's just where they're going to leave him. And there's a line when he's walking the post-credit scene, when he's walking with Jason Momoa, and Arthur Curry, Jason Momoa, says something along the lines of, so I look like me in every universe. And Barry's like, yeah. Now I'm paraphrasing, but this was the essence of that conversation. And I'm like, oh, is this telling me that like, no matter what world we're on, Jason Momoa is gonna look like Aquaman? Because we know Jason Momoa is coming back. So are we just establishing that like, Blue Beetle's gonna start off the DCU world, and we will eventually see Jason Momoa Aquaman, but the Jason Momoa Aquaman that exists within the DCU universe. And then Barry and George Clooney are over here, never to be seen or heard from ever again. And maybe we'll get Wally whenever it's time to form the Justice League. So y'all tell me what you thought about the movie. I think I'd give it a solid 7. There were just some like really obvious CG stuff that CGI, I don't remember what it's called anymore, but there were some elements that were like, oh yikes, but other parts of the movie were very good. It was a fun story. I laughed, I cried, I had a good time. So I give it a 7. What is your rating? Let me know.